Good afternoon. It's Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Tea Room. It is May the 21st, 2026 at 3:22 p.m. And I really wanted to take a look at the current planets. I've got you probably can see my computer up in my glasses. Health-wise, how it may be affecting some people, because I've had, including myself, issues with dizziness, and then I started talking to other people and they've said the same thing. So I was going back and looking at what kind of effect these planets are going to have on certain areas of our body. So we got the sun going into Gemini, shoulders, arms. When the ego is involved and you're having a hard time with sense of self, or someone is making you feel less than who you know that you are, and you're struggling with that inwardly. Also, we've got the moon in Leo, so this is heart-centered stuff. If you're emotionally upset, you may start to feel it in your heart center. Mercury, our winged messenger, is in Gemini. Once again, things having to do with our speech and messages that will affect this area of shoulders down to the arms. Venus in Cancer, there is respiratory issues that could be, so that would be more along the lines of love and beauty. Mars in Taurus, when it gets too aggressive, and right now it's in the sign of Taurus, so that's throat issues. Jupiter is in Cancer, so the same thing, expansion. Let's talk about what happens. People think that Jupiter is about, the part of you that expands and gets more. But what it does is expand of more what's already there. So if a person is poverty stricken, then it's going to expand more of what that is. If a person is angry, ditto. So what's already there, and it's in the fourth house, so whatever's going on in your home, there will be expansion there as well. Saturn in Aries, so Saturn is about lessons. It's about what time we're having. It's about sometimes burdens, and so it's in Aries, which is ruling the head. So that's where it's hitting for me, but we haven't got to the real culprit yet. Uranus, with that chaos and sudden insight, is in Gemini. Same thing, arms, shoulders. But here's where the strange energies coming in with dizziness. Neptune is in Aries at 3 degrees. And the Neptune is very, how do you put it? It dissolves. And although it is idealistic, it sees things through rose-colored glasses, it also creates sometimes an illusory kind of feel, or an unreal feel. And with Aries, it being in the head, anything from here up, it's going to affect. And then Pluto is in Aquarius, so those are the electrical system of the body. So sometimes things having to do with strokes, things having to do with your nervous system. And I'm not saying that every day this is going to happen. I'm saying that there's issues that people are having that are very strange, that I keep hearing about, that it's taken, I've taken a look at it and said, wait a second. That's just like Uranus in an air sign can create storms, certain kinds of storms. And if they're large, Pluto certainly can do that, and it's always having to do with wind. So that's hurricane, force winds, and if it were in a water sign, it would be hurricane winds with obviously water and things like that. But the focus here is Neptune in Aries. So it's not tangible. You can't figure out where it's coming from, but it is affecting your head. And that is certainly what has been going on with me. And other people that I have spoken to, that they say they don't feel like they're completely in their bodies, or they feel like they're wobbly. So that's something that we can take a look at and take a precaution until, it's still at 3 degrees. So it's going to be there for a while. Let me look at the ephemeris and see how long that's going to be there, because if you're prone to have vertigo or anything like that, or dizziness, we want to see how long that's going to be there. And at this point, I'm looking past 2031. However, it depends on the degree in your chart. And since I have a 0 degree sun, it's going to be within just a few degrees of that to affect me. And it takes looking at your chart to see, because I really love to look at health, at things in people's charts, because it helps them to plan out their times that they have peak times to perform in life, and times that they need to take that extra precaution with their health. To what they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, that's what I say too. And that's why I take my vitamins, because I'd rather have my ounce of prevention than the pound of cure. Like my friend Alice says, take your good honey every day, and it's going to help with your heart, and it's a small, minute antibiotic. So anyway, I thought I'd do a little bit of a spread. I am going to be doing tomorrow, which is the 22nd of May, 2026, and Saturday, I've extended my hours until 3 p.m. to do Memorial Day readings, and I'm going to do 25% off on everybody's sessions. So whatever the session is, if it's $65, you get 25 off of that. Or if you get a half hour or an hour, there won't be a tea room that day, but there will be a discount. And I won't, be doing that on Memorial Day, because I don't know if I'm going to work or if I'm going to play. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. That's how I live my life. So, let's just talk about what to expect for the weekend. I don't even know if I've introduced myself. I am Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and TeaRoom.com, and I am here to just give you a little heads up into what's going on in the ethers right now. I could have and just not paid attention, because I just launched right into it. That's my Aries ascendant. It likes to take off. Keep it short and sweet. So let's just take a look over the weekend, collective. And when I say collective, I mean our population as a whole, kind of generic for that, so we can kind of get a pulse rate on what's going on. Once again, health. I've got Virgo in the 6th house that has to do with health, so that's always been important to me. Alternative methods of health. So the first card I have is the 2 of Pentacles, which means there could be some juggling going on over this weekend of trying to be in the middle of having a good time, and then something pops up, and then all of a sudden you're going to have to juggle your plans a little bit to accommodate whatever it is that you have to handle, and then get back to your fun. And this shows that you may have had a sudden insight because you've had to kind of be flipped upside down to kind of understand things from a different point of view than you normally hold. Or a person can cause this for you. And then it shows a lot of activity and a lot of messages that are coming in that will lead to more activities. I really feel like relationships are going to be very important, and I'm not, everybody always that does readings talks about relationships, but more along the lines of not love life readings and things like that, but more along the lines of the health of those relationships, the quality of those relationships, and the transparency and truth behind those relationships, because real relationships are transparent with each other and they're truthful. And not only that, the compassion that they have for one another. So I really feel that there's going to be a period that we are going to be taking a really close look at those things within our relationships, not to cast the people aside or whatever, but to really value and see where they are, where, as opposed to where we'd like them to be on the scale. So it says that you're going to have to kind of wait and see to get your answers and what you've put out there to see how they manifest and come back in. And then here it's showing that there is love. There's deep love. This card is agape love. It is not like, oh my God, I love your face and I love your body. It is like, I want what is the best for you and me. And even if that means we aren't together, I want what's good for you, and I want to see you thrive in your life. That is a very different kind of love than what we see anymore. And this shows you may be offered something that would be something that feels like it's sent from heaven above, but it says that there may be something that is holding you back from taking it. So it's not the act of being offered it. What we're wanting to look at is heart-centered. Why would you refuse something that is like something so wonderful that you would close yourself off to it? So that's your question. What would make you do that? And where are you? Is it from emotional exhaustion? Where is this from? And so we're going to ask some questions about that. I really want this, but I'm not sure if I can put any more energy into anything else. That might be one of the answers, or it's just not worth the effort, you know? So what does the collective need to know over the Memorial Day weekend? And this is, of course, from the U.S., because we will be celebrating Memorial Day, but there are people from other countries that very well may be from the U.S. or they celebrate it. So what is it that we need to know? So that says expect opportunities of learning to come in, but these are tangible learning experiences that we want to pay for, or pay for somebody else to have this learning experience. And then it is showing there are secrets that are going to come to light during this time, and there have been situations where these secrets have been kept by more than one person. There's a saying, you're only as sick as your secrets, because transparency is when you don't have that veil between you and another person. There's a reason why people put veils up. And then we have this is a very dependable card. This is a reliable card. This can be a person, or this can be an energy that will be playing out this weekend. So that's good. Very masculine material. It definitely not only talks, it walks its talk. It is saying that sometimes there can be some confusion around the situation, and that would make sense with that Neptune where it is. But it also can bring confusion because of 3 key people or 3 key situations that create a sense of confusion, or you feel like that you're not in a safe environment. You feel like other people may be against you, and not in a paranoid way, because they are overtly showing you that, or covertly you could feel it, even though they think that you are clueless. I think the most insulting thing that people that are they're empaths or intuitives, that the most insulting thing for us is to think, because we don't say anything to you, that we cannot see what you are doing. Sometimes I do it and don't say anything because I want to see if the person will do the right thing and make a responsible choice, and I want to see what their character is. But it is insulting to me when someone thinks that I cannot see what they are doing, and it's an insult of my intelligence, and I'm sure it is of yours. This is showing, I'm sure y'all can relate, someone who knows they can't go back to the way things were. So if they're dealing with people from their past or present, that there's something that's went on that's affected them on a mental level as well, and having fears about being around these people. It's showing, I can't go back there where we were. We can't stay here where we are, and going forward is very we can't see what's going to be the outcome, and I'm going to have to trust, or I'm going to have to find some other way to deal with this relationship with you. And it may mean there won't be one. It may mean that I'm going to forgive you, and you're going to forgive me, or we're going to forgive each other, and we're going to try to move forward. Or it may mean there's another third thing that will transpire. Hard things. And then it shows, but there is something triumphant that comes out of this, something that is positive. And then it shows there's good news, good energy moving, flow coming in that creates more activities. It's showing intuitive, good counsel, masculine energy that achieves things for the good of the people that they're under this person's care. And this is showing movement. It can show travel. It can show, to and from places that are further away or close up, but there is movement. And the outcome says there could be delays from some things that you want, but trust that delay, because financially it is going to benefit you in some way if you can hold off a little bit. So the wait will be worth it if you have to wait. So that is some Memorial Day stuff that's coming up. I am Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Tea Room. I'm going to get off here before I get to 20 minutes, because then I won't be able to upload it to some of the platforms. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. You can book. I'll put the information on underneath my video. And I hope to see some of you before Memorial Day. Bye.